Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dave Blanchard, the CEO of the Augmentino Group, and I'm here with one of my best friends, Doug Wood. And before Doug speaks, you just have to know this is the real deal. This is the real deal. Doug, a few years ago, weighed 260 pounds, and he was working night and day to try to get a furniture store to be profitable enough to support his family. And one day he said, enough's enough. He took on his health. I know he just got back from the gym before we did this interview, which is really fun. He built a health coaching business, millions in profit a year, not the millions of profit a year. This is kind of cool, right? And now he and his wife are doing related sources of income, other sources of income. He's wearing his Kick Fear in the Face hat. And I just have to tell everybody, go to kickfearintheface.com and get a hat, get a t-shirt. Because when you're wearing this hat, you just feel different. It's a talisman. You know, you carry that little stone to remember something in your pocket. You wear the hat. It's just a reminder to take on your fear and to kick it in the face. Because I have watched Doug kick fear in the face over and over and over again. And I know where he is now. And I am so excited to have him share with you this journey of taking on his life. And I had the privilege of engaging and being his coach. I don't want this to be self-serving, but it was one of the great honors of my life to work with he and his family. Doug Wood, thank you for joining us. We're going to have people watching this that are going, I've heard all of that before, but are they really going to deliver, So what was it like for you and when in your life you engaged coaching? What did it do for you?
Well, first of all, Dave, thank you so much for that warm welcome.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, I look at coaching two different ways. One, coaching in terms of what T and I have been doing the last 8 years, and it's a complete honor to have so many people have trusted us with their health, but that we could, assist others. But more importantly,
pause for a moment. It's 194,000 people. This isn't a handful you've helped. 194,000 people you've helped get healthy. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and all because I just I believe that when your physical health is in alignment, your other area of your health is in alignment. And one of the areas that was out of alignment was mine and my wife Tia's communication and relationship. And as we began to start to help other people, and we were trying to grow our businesses, and our business was growing, but we kept coming up against the same wall, or sometimes habit loops repeat themselves, and they kind of come back around, and it's still there. I can't ignore that one. Dave, we were at a pivotal point a few years ago. Yes, our business was growing, but not at the rate that it could. And there was some internal stuff, and thankfully that's when a mutual friend introduced me to you and the AUG group. And I tell you what, that season of our life. So I look at coaching two different ways. I'll just kind of go back and clean this up. Yes, there's coaching in what we can do for others, but then there's the coaching in what we need, and staying coachable and learning from someone who's walked a mile in your shoes, or maybe came up against those same obstacles, and working with you, T and I together. Although we could say it was a challenging season, but it was the tweaks, the adjustments, a little bit of inside surgery that we were able to see a bigger picture. And really we allude the last few years to that key 12 months that we spent, with you and Paul and the group.
What would you say was your biggest breakthrough?
Biggest breakthrough for me was slowing down so I could speed up. Taking a look at what's going on the inside of me, taking personal responsibility for what I'm doing, both in the positive, but also what are the I think in your words, you've helped me discover what rocks am I still carrying around, and discovering that. But I really would probably contribute it to, the season 3 years ago when my wife and I got on the same page about having another child. And that was probably my biggest breakthrough season, when I realized that I was the one in the way. And I think through some of the questions and the self-discovery that you also helped me with, was a huge breakthrough season. And now I have an amazing son to show for it.
Phoenix. Oh my goodness. That's so awesome. I remember when we first engaged, your business was growing, it was doing well, but you're also investing a lot of time and money in your business. And you said, what's the fee? And I shared you with the fee, and there's, okay. It was an investment. Mm-hmm. What would you say to those who have never invested in themselves? Who are saying, wow, I keep crashing, I keep burning, I'm having struggle, I don't even know what they are. Maybe there's a book I could read somewhere and it'd solve all my problems. And they have an opportunity to engage at a deeper level. What do you say?
Well, if you're not investing in yourself, start. Because who's going to invest in you unless you invest in yourself? So that'd be my first challenge to anybody. But number two is, I always now seek advice and get advice really from somebody that I would consider trading lives with, or bank accounts with, or marriage relationship with. And that's the first thing that I looked for. And if you want to be a millionaire, start getting coaching from a millionaire. If you want to impact a lot of lives, find people and someone who is impacting and has impacted and is in the process of still impacting many lives. And Dave, that's probably the biggest thing that I sometimes see even now, is somebody getting advice or coaching from somebody who did something great 5 or 7 or 10 years ago. Yeah. But now they're just talking about what they used to do. One of the fresh things for T and I is, when we work with you and Paul and the others, is this is what we're doing. This is what's working. And so that has always been a key factor for us in reaching out.
Thank you. I have to tell you, I'm just having one of those moments watching you. I happened to go to an event where you were on the stage recently, and it's so fun to see someone create this and then not drink their Kool-Aid. You understand what I mean? Really, truly focused on changing lives. It's really a treat to have you here. I just have one last question. I ask everyone this question because quite often when I turn off the record, they start talking and they're saying, you know what I really wanted to say was, I just want you to go into your heart for a moment. There's going to be somebody watching this who is really, frankly, in pain. This isn't about speaking to them about coaching necessarily. Just whatever comes to your heart, trust it and just share it, because I'd really love to have this moment be valuable for them.
Thank you for the question.
You're welcome.
When you reach a point where you've maybe achieved, and people might look at your life like, wow, you've done so much, or you've accomplished so much. And maybe you feel like you have, or maybe you haven't, but it's still not enough, because you know the challenges that you're still facing day to day, sometimes that nobody sees, and maybe sometimes that nobody can even fathom, but you know that they're there. That's when it becomes people over profit, or should I say purpose over profit. Because we, all of us, can make a lot of money. We can work, and produce. You might be a great producer, but there's still something going on the inside that is causing some seasons or some habits or some different things that there's lacking fulfillment, there's lacking purpose, because maybe you've even found yourself going into the day-to-day, or just what used to be your purpose has now become just an action, just a do, and you find yourself in a reactive mode versus in that creating mode of what matters most to you, what matters most to your family, and what might be an expanded season of expanding or repurposing. So maybe you're going through a time or a season of repurposing. And I am going to encourage anybody watching this, Dave, I'm going to encourage you with this, because I'm in the process of going through this myself, is to don't ignore the small things. Don't ignore what's going on, the still small voices, the thoughts we have when we're alone, thoughts we have when we put our head on our pillow. Because you know what? God probably has something more. Maybe it's expansion. Maybe it's a repurposing. But take a look at those, because, Dave, one thing I have learned, I've learned a lot, but one thing I'm still learning is it's not going away by ignoring it or trying to outwork it, thinking that more money, more stuff, more people will fix it. And I value that, because I've now seen it to be true. And you and I had a conversation, I would say it was about maybe not 8 months ago. Maybe it was about 3 to 4 months ago. I called you one day. I think I was going through one of those days. You're my coach. And you said, "Congratulations, Doug. How much is enough?" Because now it's time to start talking about the enough principle. And that has, I hate to be dramatic, but that has rocked my world over the last 3 to 4 months, since I've realized, is it ever going to be enough? And once you reach your enough principle, you can actually be in the greatest service to others, to your family, and to total mankind. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. What a great message to those who just keep wanting more and more and more, because there's never enough to fill the void, is there? And all of a sudden you find a whole new reason for creating to serve mankind. Well, Doug, you're leaving a footprint on the planet. It's a wonderful thing. And love the hat. For those of you may, just a reminder, kickfearintheface.com. There you go.
That's right.
That's it.
We are kicking fear in the face. Dave, that's the number one thing that holds us all back, is fear. Fear of what people think, fear of success, fear of failure. I mean, you have a list, I have a list, we all have a list. You know what? My wife just a few years ago said, sometimes you just got to kick it in the face.
I remember when that came up for the first time. It resonated with me from the first moment I heard it. I said, that's got to be out there. And now you're taking it to the world. Thank you. For those watching, if you're saying, where do I start? This isn't about engaging in coaching. This is about making the decision to take the habit finder, habitfinder.com. Go take the assessment, spend 30 minutes with one of our client services people. These aren't salespeople, they're client services. They want to help you better understand. They'll help you assess what's going on. And then you can make a decision. Do you want to do something about it? Well, if you do, they'll send you to someone who can talk to you about options. Right. It's time to just make the decision to finally do something about this, so you can start to open up your life. And lastly, I thank you for your comment. I shared with you before we turned on the recording a decision I made 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks. I've been putting off since I played football in college. Had to be done. I'm so excited about that decision. We're all still growing, aren't we? A coach isn't someone who's got it all figured out. It's someone who's in the trenches digging through it, who can help you get through the next 2 blocks and all the potholes and glue buckets, because they've been through those and they're still going through stuff. This is a process of growth for a lifetime, always growing. What a thrilling way to live. Well, I love you, my friend. Thank you so much for serving everyone today, because you really have served.
You're very welcome. Thank you.